How to become wealthy in management consulting. Hi everyone, my name is Johannes and welcome to Mastering Consulting. On this channel, I want to share my own experiences and learnings from my own current journey in management consulting to help you to become successful in management consulting while also living a balanced life. And if you're new to this channel, then please make sure to subscribe to it. Also, please hit the bell button and leave a thumb up. This will help you that you don't miss any new video that will come out. And today we have a very interesting topic. We will talk about how can you become wealthy in management consulting? So after their studies, after university, if people join their first job, very often they have the question, what can I do to become financially independent and building some wealth? And obviously when I started in management consulting, I had the same question. And I took a look at some people that already were in consulting and had a bit more experience than I had. And I realized the following. I saw that almost all the consultants had a very good income because consulting is obviously a profession where they typically pay high salaries. But on the other side, not all of them were wealthy. So I realized being in management consulting by itself doesn't get you wealthy. So I asked myself the question, what can I do to become financially independent and to build some wealth? And what I did back then was that I really tried to read as much as possible as I can about making money, about investing money, and just try to improve my financial education. And there was one thing that I did that really helped me and was a kind of breakthrough in my understanding on how to get financially independent. And this was when I joined a mastermind group of a very successful investor. Because in this mastermind group, I asked the investor, okay, what can I do as a starter to build my wealth and to become financially independent? And he said, okay, there are basically 3 skills that you have to master in order to become wealthy. Skill number 1 is that you learn how to earn money. Okay, so you need to generate a high income first. That is the first skill. Skill number 2, he said, is that you learn how to keep your money. So once you earned it, that you don't lose it. And he said skill number 3 is that you learn how to invest your money. So once you had the money, how can you grow your money without actively working for it? And he said, you know, those are 3 very simple steps, but most people also make the following mistakes. So first, they never really learn how to earn more money, so they stay with their income for a very long time. Second, most people spend most of the money once they get it, so they never really learn how to save it and how to keep your money. And third, most people misjudge their investment skills, so most people really lose money when they do investments. And on top of that, he said that most people, if they say, okay, I want to invest in my education, I really want to learn how to build wealth, they immediately go to step number 3 without going to step number 1 and 2 first. So they really focus on getting rich quick, they do very risky investments and really try to invest without having learned how to increase their income and how to keep the money. And this really changed my thinking because, to be honest, back then I also had this kind of getting wealthy very quick attitude, and I did a lot of very risky investments that I really didn't understand. And at that point I realized, okay, I have to invest in myself first in order to do step number 1, really learn to grow my income. Then step number 2, really understand how to keep my money, and only then focus on the investment side. And from that moment on, I really applied his advice. I really followed those 3 steps, and that helped me within 3 years of being in management consulting to become financially independent. But let's take a closer look at each of those 3 steps and talk about how you can apply that if you are in management consulting. Let's talk about skill number 1 first, learn how to earn money. And there's one key rule here, and this key rule is that you really have to invest in yourself. So this means that you read books, do seminars, do courses, do whatsoever in order to learn the skills that you need and the abilities that you need to earn more money. Because there is a saying that says the best investment that you can make is the investment in yourself in your skills, in your abilities, and based on my experience, I totally can confirm that. So if you're still studying, what does this mean to you? So first of all, I would really focus on my education, okay? So try to be very good in university, try to get practical experience, also try to learn the necessary skills that help you to get into consulting, because that is the best thing that you can do to prepare for your career. Second, what I really would try to do is to join a consultancy that has high entry salaries. And the reason for that is that all of your promotions and all of your salary increases really depend on the base level. So it makes a big difference if you start, for example, at an income level of 50k versus 100k, because this really makes a big difference, especially if we talk about the long term. If you are a consultant and really want to learn how to earn money, I would highly recommend to invest in your consulting skills, to really try to become as good as possible in, for example, doing presentations, in all the Excel skills, communication, organization, and so on. Because this will help you to outperform and to get promoted very quickly. And this will obviously help you to earn more money much more quickly. Besides that, what you also can do is to start your own side business. So this could help you to add additional income streams to your current income. And this is also obviously one way to increase your money and to learn how to earn more money. If you are a bit more advanced in your career, like I am, so if you're maybe a senior consultant or a project manager, I really would try to learn how to sell, because this will basically help you to make another promotion step, to become partner maybe one day. And this is the point where your income is really scalable, because then your income highly depends on the revenue that you generate. And usually this is a great opportunity to grow your income. And obviously another path that you can take is that you grow your own business. So maybe you become a self-employed consultant, maybe you found your own company, because as an entrepreneur, obviously this opens a lot more opportunities to grow your income and to build wealth. Let's talk about skill number 2. Let's talk about how to learn to keep your money. And I think the first advice that I can give here is that you really try to have a fixed saving rate from the beginning on. The good thing is, if you start a management consulting, you usually come directly from university. And usually as a student, you are very used to have limited resources. So don't do the mistake to take all of the money that you generate in your first job and spend all of it. Make it a habit to have a fixed saving rate that you apply every single month. So for example, let's say you want to have a saving rate of 10%, then you should make it a habit to transfer those 10% every month to your saving account, okay? And this is really important. And obviously, the higher the saving rate is, the more wealth you build over time. So depending on how quick you want to become financially independent, I would set a saving rate something between 10% and 50%. The second advice that I can give is that you don't fall into the consume trap, because we know we all work very hard to get into consulting. So we usually, focus a lot on having great academics. We also, invested a lot to pass the interview. And then finally, we have our salary as a management consultant. But don't make the mistake to immediately spend all of your money for fancy vacations, fancy watches, cars, dinners, stuff like that. So this is the fastest way to lose your money, and this is definitely not how to keep your money. And the third advice that I can give to you is that if you save your money, that you don't keep it in cash, because obviously due to inflation, this will reduce your wealth, but that you also don't put it into a very aggressive and speculative portfolio. I think the best way to keep your money at the beginning is to have a very diversified portfolio of different asset classes. So there is the all-weather portfolio from Ray Dalio that you probably know, and I think this is a great way to keep your money and to protect it from inflation. And also, let's talk about skill number 3, learn how to invest your money. And there are famous investors like Ray Dalio or Warren Buffett, and they say competing in investing is harder than competing in the Olympics. And this makes totally sense, because think about that. Large institutions and also very successful investors, they spend millions and hundreds of millions into research, into resources that help them to figure out how to outperform the market. And those are the people that you compete against as a private investor. So think about it. Do you really have what it takes to outperform the market if those players play also the same game as you do? So I think for most people it's much better to invest broad into the market, like with index funds or ETFs, instead of doing stock picking. But of course, if you really want to dive into investing, I also can give you some advice. So if you want to invest actively in different asset classes, I'd highly recommend to really invest in your financial education. So you should read a lot, you should go to seminars, you should join masterminds, because this is not an easy game. So if you play the game, you better know the rules. Another advice that I can give to you is that you only invest in those areas where you really have some advanced and special knowledge. So for example, if you are a customer from the company, okay, if you use the products for a very long time, this gives you also a better judgment on the performance of the company. Also, maybe you have some special knowledge about certain industries from your past experiences, or maybe because you read a lot about it, then also it makes sense. Or if you have a special knowledge in a certain investment class, so if you, I don't know, follow the crypto market for 10 years and really know about it, then it also makes sense to invest in this asset class. But keep in mind, as always, that the best investment that you can make is the investment in yourself. So it's always a good thing to invest in your skills or into your own business, and this is typically the safest investment. I want to know about your strategy of becoming wealthy and becoming financially independent, so write it down in the comments. Also, if you like the video, then please subscribe to it, leave a thumb up, and also hit the bell button. This will help you that you don't miss any new video. And with that being said, I wish you a very successful day. Hope to see you soon. Goodbye, Johannes.